Ladies, okay, hopefully it will not have Wi-Fi issues like it just did. Okay, so I'm late, sorry. You can come and walk in if you want. So I'm at my friend's house, and we're going to do our attempt to make 4 sugar-free, pretty much no special ingredients needed desserts. All of these, I like all of these. The 2 favorite would be the Christmas crack and the easiest candy recipe. So we're going to start with the fudge. I do have my her oven preheating to 375 for the Christmas crack. I hope you can see this is, I haven't been here, when did we do this last? Months ago. So this is another, I guess, almost trial run here. So I'm going to have to go to the stove and I'll talk to you and hopefully you can see things. Okay, so what we've got is, let me go ahead and turn the stove on.
There's nothing on the computer going on over here. Just
okay, I'll go. Medium heat. Yeah, there's no.
I don't know if that's has anything to do with what you're doing there.
It shouldn't. If it doesn't pop up, then I'm not there. See, it doesn't. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm back, sorry. Okay, so on the stove I have, and if you're doing the movement challenge, and I said leg day is often a low, I have to work at getting my steps in, I probably won't today, running back and forth. Okay, so in a medium saucepan, I just have a stick of butter, and I'm going to go back. Okay, so with that, what I need to do is I need to have the stick of butter melt. So the peanut butter fudge calls for 1 cup of peanut butter, 1/2 cup of salted butter, 3/4 a cup of powdered sweetener, and for the powdered sweetener, I use Swerve. Now, I think that Swerve might have changed the ingredients, and if they have, this is an older bag that I've had for a little while. So use at, hey Joni, your discretion. I love the Swerve ingredients, or not sweeteners, so I'm hoping that the ingredients aren't too bad. And then a teaspoon of vanilla. So what we need to do is we need to get the butter to melt. And then this is how I do my peanut butter. Essentially what I prefer to do, you'll excuse me, is I put oil in here, like a spray, like a little oil on it, and then put the peanut butter in there, and it just dumps right out. But what I did is what I did in the video, or not the video, the recipe, just so it's the same as you follow along. I don't remember how hard it is to get this out of the saran wrap, so we will see live how that works. Okay, so I'm going to explain a couple of things while the butter's melting. So while I was gone picking up my husband because he needs breaks, my friend went ahead and organized things for me. So I've got a station for each one. So over here is my Christmas crack. There's my chocolate mousse. And then in the back corner is the candy. Oh, thank you. Got to have little helpers help me with this stuff. Okay, so we're going to get the butter melting, and then in a minute, once it's kind of melted, I'm going to add the peanut butter. And she's already got everything measured, so if I go too fast, just let me know. But again, it's just 1 cup of peanut butter, and I want to talk about my peanut butter real quick. We haven't been to Costco for a hot minute, and I typically use Costco peanut butter. Well, I ran out, so I have this peanut butter. So we're going to see if the peanut butter fudge can turn out with this kind of peanut butter and the Costco peanut butter. The Costco peanut butter is my preferred peanut butter. This is just like Jif. It's just super creamy, super smooth. So we'll see if it'll work out the same. If not, I will make a cake and I will frost it with this peanut butter fudge if it doesn't set up completely. Okay, let me check the butter. Okay, so I should have looked at my steps before I started this just to see how many steps I get from this. So the butter's almost melted. You can't see it. There's a little thing down here. So I'm going to go ahead and add the peanut butter.
That burner tends to run hot.
Okay, so I'll turn it down a little bit.
Yeah. Just be careful you don't burn something.
I'm pretty sure I came up with this fudge recipe for my peanut butter cake that has peanut butter frosting because that frosting was so good. All right, we're going to see if I make a big mess. It went in. Perfect. She has a trash can set up for me over here too. Perfect. I saved my peanut butter spoons just in case I had to scrape, and I didn't. It just plopped out. So I'm going to stir the peanut butter kind of into the butter that's melting. And the only thing that I've done extra, hey, over there, is I have the oven preheating for the Christmas crack. And I already have all the things that need parchment paper or I prefer to have lined are already lined. Okay, so I'm going to go back and get the recipe so I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And if I'm thinking I might do this again, depending on how, hopefully not awful I do, with maybe some variations next time. Because I'm going to make these pretty much just as written, but I'm going to share some ideas on how you can change it up for your family's preferred tastes. Okay. Okay, I have to stir that until it's melted, and then I'll add the sweetener and then the vanilla. Okay. Okay. Wait. Oh, you already had the, okay. And this is the sweetener? Mm-hmm. All right, look at that. Okay. So, she said that her stove does seem that one burner cooks a little fast, and it is definitely cooking fast. It has, okay, the oven is preheated. It's had bubbles all around the edge. I'm going to cook it for probably another 30 seconds, and then we'll add the sweetener. So again, depending on how your surface area, how big your saucepan is, all of that's going to make a difference in how quickly your things come to a boil or melt or any of that. That's all plays a factor. Even the type of pan you're cooking in makes a difference. So if you're just going a little bit slower, that's fine. I don't know why I keep leaving the recipe over there. I gotta run back over there. Okay. Okay, medium saucepan, start melting butter, line measuring cup with saran wrap, measure peanut butter, add peanut butter to the butter, stir, whisk until melted, add the sweetener and allow it to come to a low boil, and then add vanilla. And on the vanilla, I heard this a long time ago. When you cook with your extracts, you want to add them when you're through cooking. So what I will do is when I turn it off is when I'm going to add my vanilla. I think I might have needed a whisk. Do you have one handy?
I do not.
Okay.
One thing I don't own.
Okay, my friend Jennifer doesn't own a whisk. Misorganized and all put together does not own a whisk. I think I need a whisk.
I have a metal whisk, but you're not supposed to use metal on those pans.
Okay. I'm going to work at getting these lumps out from the sweetener. So if you don't have a whisk, then what you would want to do is put your sweetener through like a sifter. That's what I prefer. Those are my suggestions also when you make like a cake. You want the finest flours for your cake, especially for me. I prefer the texture of a very bad for you off-plan cake. And so I do my best to try to get as close to the original consistency as possible. And I do that by putting the flours through a sifter. Okay, it's about to come back to a boil. I think I got most of the lumps out. Okay, so this is all going to be preferred taste. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. So what I would do is I would taste this and see if you think this is sweet enough for you. What I like to do for these desserts is I find the cooling effect slightly bothersome, but my husband has a big problem with the cooling effect of the sweeteners. So one tip that I like to do is that's when I'll add like a little bit of pure stevia, because it's going to pack a good sweetener punch without that cooling effect. So that's typically what I try to do, so that I don't serve him something where he thinks it's gross. Again, my husband is very picky on plan desserts, and so when he does like them, I feel like it's a huge win. This is thick. I feel like it's right at a boiling point. I did turn her stove down to medium low-ish. And I think I pretty much got the lumps out, so we won't have lumps of cooling sweetener in our mouths when we eat this. Now, like I said before, with this, you can add some chocolate chips to it. If you really like peanut butter chocolate, peanut butter chips. Yeah, some white chocolate would be great. Like my husband, I've talked before how he likes white chocolate. That would be a great treat for him. Okay, I think I'm pretty much about to take this off. It's getting thick. But if you want, okay, so if you add your chips now, they're going to melt in, which can be perfect if that's what you want. If you want them to be more whole, then what I would do is let it cool a little bit, then add the chips. Is he being mean?
No, getting crazy.
Her husband just got home, so he walks into me cooking in his kitchen. Okay, I forgot the vanilla. Yeah, the vanilla. I think it's a teaspoon. Yeah. Okay, so I'll show you what it looks like, and I've got my pan prepared. We tried a trick from TikTok, and it kind of did not work. So here, I'll see if I can't scoop a spoon out for you so you can kind of see how mine turned out. So it's thick, but it's still definitely pourable. Y'all are kind. Thank y'all so much. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this in here and then give it to her to go put in her freezer. And I don't know how long this video is going to take. My husband asked how long I would be here, and I have no idea. I've never done this. And I haven't made some of these recipes in a while, so it's not like I just made them last week. And no, I didn't. I'm not that prepared. I'm not that organized. I am making them fresh live here. I would be smart to have prepped them last week to make sure I knew what I was doing. And I'm using a loaf pan, like in the recipe it says. If you, one idea that I think would be great would be, just come between, I might try this and see how it turns out. Either using like little molds. And then with the molds, what we could do is we could melt some of the white chocolate or the dark chocolate, brush it in, freeze it, pour this fudge in there, freeze it, and then coat the bottom with some more of that chocolate and freeze it. And then we'd have peanut butter fudge filled chocolates. That sounds delicious, and it just came to me. Okay. I'm going to scrape this out. I think my point, what I was trying to say is if you want really thick fudge and you use a smaller container or double the recipe. But when it comes to desserts, I don't double anything I haven't tried. I cannot tell you, I've thrown cheesecakes away. Cheesecakes with homemade caramel sauce. So many things went in the trash. We couldn't even eat them. So, kind of, it's just got to taste just right. I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to taste this. Hopefully I won't burn my tongue. But I had a great idea. Did you hear my idea?
No, I didn't hear your idea.
Get like the little candy molds, melt white or dark chocolate, whatever we want, brush it, freeze it, make the fudge, fill the candy, freeze it, then top it with more of the chocolate.
Oh, you should tell me in advance. I have some popsicles.
Well, it just came to me, so if we do this again. Okay, so
I have some
I don't know if you can see, it's down there. The fudge will not be very thick, so if you want it thicker, use a smaller container. All right, ma'am, to your freezer, please. I'm going to, bottom's hot.
Yeah. I can tell.
Okay. Tastes good. It does have that cooling effect. Not horrible though, but definitely has a little bit of that cooling effect. Okay. I think now is the easiest candy. I feel like I probably knocked this down. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do the easiest candy recipe. Oh, and if you do a little peanut butter hack, your little measuring cup is clean. Okay, so I think I shared a week or two ago that I attempted to make this recipe, and I've made it many, many times. I was making a batch for me, making a batch for my husband. Mine turned out perfect. My husband's, what's that word again? I told you earlier. It seized up. His white chocolate seized up. So I'm going to try again. And this, I just bought this chocolate from Walmart. So this is not old chocolate. The other chocolate could have been old. So we're going to see. But I have made him the white chocolate a few times as well. So what I've got Lily's. Is it dark? It's not milk. Okay, this is what I bought. This is what we're using here, so that you know. This one, obviously, is a darker one. So this is the dark chocolate baking bar by Lily's. And then this is the other one, the Lily's white chocolate baking bar. And so how I'm going to do this, so I've got microwavable glass containers, and I'm going to microwave these on 60% power, about 30 to 40 seconds at a time. Take them out and stir. I might do 50%, because typically when I make this, I make a full recipe. So what I'm doing today is I'm making a full recipe with the marshmallows and nuts and the goji berries, but I'm doing half dark chocolate and then half white chocolate. If that doesn't make sense, I'll try to explain it in a different way. So I'm going to go microwave these, probably about 50% power, and we'll start with 30 seconds. I don't want his white chocolate to seize up, and it's a lot of money to put in your trash. Did he know I was going to be here?
He forgot.
Oh.
He knew. He forgot.
That's loud. Okay, so power level. Okay, I don't know how to work your microwave.
Let's do your time and then do power level.
Okay, so I'll do 30 seconds. Wait. I don't know how to work your microwave, so give me a second. Okay, so cook time?
Yeah.
Cook time, 30, power level, and I'll just keep pushing?
Just do 5.
Okay.
And then start. There you go.
Okay, I'm obviously not smarter than her microwave. Wait, I think the big one's for the chocolate, right?
I don't know.
Because I just, yeah. She's
Going
very
backwards.
organized, but she's got my pans on the wrong one. Look at that oil and everything, so good. Okay, I'm going to run back and check the chocolate. Okay, so it looks just like it went in. It may be melted and it may not be melted. I won't know until I try to stir. Nope, not melted. Back in. Now let's see if I remember. Cook time, 30. Power level, 5. Start. Okay, so I was working on this. Okay, so this is the size I'm going to use for the Christmas crack. I'm going to take one sheet, and I'll show you, of my like lavash bread and put on here. But this bigger one is for the candy. And if you're going to be doing something, you might want to make sure you're careful and don't put it directly on the hot burner. Okay, so I've done 50% power twice, 30 seconds twice, and I can see they both have started to melt some. I think you can see that.
I'll just do 30 seconds at full power.
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you 40 seconds. I don't want it to seize. And I've had, typically I think I have on there, I do 60% power in 45 seconds, but because I'm also using half the chocolate, this is, okay, let's see again. Good time. Okay, I'll do 45 seconds. Power. 30 seconds instead of 45 seconds. If you've never had chocolate seize up, okay, I'm back. So I just try to be really careful because I don't want to throw this chocolate away. What is it, like $5 or something? Yeah, I don't want to have to put it in the trash. Okay, we definitely have had a lot more melting happen. So this is what it looks like. I think you can see. So definitely have some melting. So I may go back to 30 seconds. Yeah, it's definitely really close to, and I'm not doing chocolate chips. I know I'm kind of yelling. I'm over here in the corner. Okay, I want to show you something real quick. So this is what the chocolate's looking like. Now, the white chocolate is much melted. I feel like I forgot that I know English when I start these videos. So I will do 30 seconds. If you're doing chips and not using the bars, I would definitely be really observant so you don't ruin it. Because again, all these things that we buy that are the healthier. Okay, get a drink of water. And don't forget, you can use whatever nuts you want. I've done a variety of nuts. I've done mostly peanuts because that's what I have and it's cheap. I've done hazelnuts. Came back, sorry. My friend lives kind of out more in the country than even I do, and so her internet is a little bit worse than mine. Okay, back to the microwave. Okay, I'm going to bring my spoons this time. Don't have to walk back again. Okay, so here's the white chocolate. It looks almost completely melted. I'm going to say if this is not going back in the microwave. And the chocolate one is going back in the microwave another round probably. But that was probably going to be it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back in the microwave and I'm going to mix up the white chocolate one. And I'll show you what we did to organize for that. This one's going to go back in for 30 seconds. She has ducks in case you can hear them. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that I might do this again, I mean, if it's decent, and do variations of some of these recipes, and maybe even bring in some new recipes. Max Mallows, if I'm saying that right, have a lot of different flavors. A lot. Lily's has a lot of different flavors. I think there's a mint, campfire, or marshmallow. Lily's also has mint. We could make this into like a mint candy. I've got some more of those flavors I'll show you in a minute. So, but this time I'm just doing normal recipe here. I'm doing the Max Mallows. Very good for you. I like them, and I find them to the white chocolate and half the goji berries. And mine are, I feel, kind of big this time. I don't know if they're always this big because I don't eat them that often. So, whoops. I had to chop them. Technically, she chopped them. I'm just eyeballing to see about approximately a half. And this is personal preference. I like to add the Max Mallows once it's cooled slightly, so it just doesn't melt and become part of the recipe. I mean, you know what I mean? Maybe. I also think that when you put the goji berries in, it's just so pretty. I think it's pretty with the goji berries. Okay, I'm gonna go get the chocolate. We'll see if it's done. I'm coming. It's calling my name. Okay. So I feel the chocolate, it is done. It has reached, it is perfect. So now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna add the nuts. Again, use whatever nuts you like, whatever nuts you have. Peanuts I just seem to always have because they're cheap. And then the chopped goji. I think I'll give that one some more. Her husband is also not a fan of goji berries. I think they just have bad taste. So here's the chocolate with the peanuts and the goji berries. And then add a little bit more at the bottom of the chopped goji berry bowl with the white chocolate. Okay, so now I'm going to add half. Kind of does sound pretty good. Okay, sorry about the internet. I can't. That is definitely out of our control. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start dropping spoonfuls onto the parchment paper while the chocolate once cools off a little bit so it doesn't completely melt the marshmallows into the chocolate mixture. I'll move a little bit closer so you can see. I'll try and come over here. Okay. All right. So this is a sheet pan. I don't know what size, but it's the big one. It's not the 9x13 because that's that one over there. Line with parchment paper to make cleanup easier. So.
You might want to move the pan over to like the sink.
Depending on how big you make them, try not to touch anything. So I'm not tempted to lick my finger and then touch something else. Especially in somebody else's house. Okay, I'm gonna get, well, I probably can make some of these a little bit bigger. That's too big. And go crazy with the chocolate, with the nuts, with the marshmallow flavors. Like you have so many options now. I find that it's just what we have available to us at the grocery store. Although, again, it costs a lot of money. I just feel like we have so many options now. Okay, I'm gonna have to touch this to get this off. That one over here. Okay, so now we're gonna do the chocolate. I could leave the berries out. I mean, they were just an addition one day because the first time I made it with just the first 3 ingredients, and then I thought, you know what, goji berries are so good. I wonder if it'll work, and it works. In my opinion, it works.
When I made them, I just did, I didn't know goji berries, just the marshmallows and the nuts. And I think I put almonds in mine.
I think almonds. Well, I've been nervous with making all these live, but okay. I have the flax lavash bread from Costco. My Walmart no longer carries the Joseph's. I have to go to a different Walmart, not in my town, to get the Joseph's. So let me get my recipe book. Okay, so Christmas crack, lavash bread, 1 tablespoons of olive oil. What we're going to do is we're going to brush the wrap with oil. Here's my pan. And if you don't know, I feel like probably everybody knows, a 9x13 is like your typical cake pan size. So it probably doesn't look like it because it's so short, but this is a 9x13, unless I've lost my mind. That is possible. Okay. So I'm going to put, I think I have to cut this. Yeah, it's been a minute since I've made this, so let me do some trimming. So I'm not as organized as I thought I was, but close. So this is my friend's big knife we used earlier. I don't know if you can see her tip, but it's bent. It is bent by spaghetti squash. Okay, how am I going to cut this? I'm going to go this way. Okay, so I'll show you what I did in just a second. I cut too much. Okay, so I have a piece that's going into the trash because I cut a little wrong. So I'll show you what I did. Is here's the piece, and I'll show you what I cut off. On the edge that was too big, I cut this off, and so what it's going to do is it's just going to lay down, and I'm going to just cook it with it, and that'll be one of the Christmas crack pieces. So I got to brush this with olive oil. All right. Oh, I need to melt some more stuff in a saucepan, so I'm going to do that before I put this in the oven, so that we're not waiting for that. So I'm going to wash. Huh?
What else do you need to melt?
I've got to melt to the, okay, so I'll tell you what's in it so that we know what we're dealing with here. So we've got the lavash bread, the oil that we're going to brush the lavash with. Then we're going to melt 3/4 a cup of butter. And then we're going to add the 3/4 a cup of brown sugar, some vanilla, some salt. We got sugar-free chocolate chips in a minute and toppings. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the brown sugar part that gets hard and crispy. Like if you've ever made it before, like I've made it previously with the saltine crackers. And obviously this is not with saltine crackers. So what we're doing with the lavash is we're making basically on-plan saltine cracker-esque. There are fiber and 3.5 grams of fat per half. So if you so wished to eat a whole half, you could. You would not have to worry about your carb counts. So I prefer this with a lavash. It is just my preference. And I typically always, once I start running low and we go to Costco, I always get it. I keep this in my fridge, never goes in my pantry. It's always in my fridge. And it lasts a little while that way. So while the butter is melting, I'm going to brush the lavash with the olive oil that she has in this cute little measuring cup. And I will show you when I'm done. Okay, so this is just going to help our lavash get crispy. My instructions say, and I have a picture on there for you, it says brown, not completely brown, but brown. So we'll see what we come up with. Oh, it exploded.
Oh no. Okay, so timer. I have to close the door.
No, it worked.
Okay. And then hit the timer button again.
Okay. Okay. I don't know how much we lost. I would say at least a tablespoon of butter. Okay, so I'm going to wash